Another Garage Cast episode. How we doing, Compa Buki? Compa Allen, one more time
One
in
more
the podcast.
time.
Just a little different. Now we're in Redlands, California, in kO'S Barbershop.
That's right, you guys. Welcome. Thank you guys for having me again.
No, thank you for accepting the invitation one more time.
Oh man, I've been begging you guys for a year now, but you guys got too famous for me.
Yeah, he actually has been chasing us around for about a year, but
Chasing you around because when he got in contact with me, then we made it happen.
I had to talk to the upper guy. You know what I mean?
But I feel like God's timings are perfect timings because the first times that he told us, hey, second part, this wasn't actually at the location at kO'S Fades. It wasn't actually in the process yet until once it happens. Like, hey, let's do it over there. Like,
I don't think you're right. Amen to that. It is God's timing, and honestly, I'm a believer in that. And I didn't even know this place was gonna ever exist. I had maybe a vision, maybe I had a feeling that one day I can do something like this. But honestly, God did push it on us, man. He pushed it right on our plate.
When did that vision first come about of kO'S?
You want me to get into it real quick?
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy. Okay, so a few months ago, man. This is around the time I think I got baptized. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media, but
Yeah.
So I started having some feelings, some emotions I couldn't control anymore. So I felt that I had to get a little closer to God. And my son at the time was going through something. He tore his ACL and meniscus, so it was kind of hard to navigate that in a way as a father. You know what I mean? Because it's the only thing you can do is uplift him, right? But at the same time, while that happened, like you said, God's timing. My daughter, kO'Mi, she ended up spending way more time than she normally does with me at the barbershop at Jay's Fades. So my son was at home rehabbing. He got a surgery. He's good now, thank God. And my wife and him got real close because of the injury. I got closer to my daughter. And normally Jay's in the barbershop sweeping the hair, making his money. You know what I mean? We tip him at the end of the day for sweeping. My daughter was doing it now. And I didn't have a relationship with her like I did, like I developed her in that summer when she was there. As time went by, bro, I ended up feeling that, okay, I got baptized. Like, what else does God need from me? I was having dreams. I was having visions. I honestly told my wife that I thought I was going to get a school. I was like, I think I need to open up a school and help young barbers who wanted to enter into this world, just kind of guide them, mentor them. I don't know, man. I was just waiting, being patient and just praying on it, waiting for the good time, God's time, right? Not my time, God's time. And as I got comfortable, bro, Jay's Fades, thank God it developed and it did really well to the point where I now took 3 days off and worked only 4, spent all those 3 days with my family. And then God just presented this opportunity for me, man. He was like, hey, right before Christmas came, this gentleman came, Juan, our manager here at this location. He had a client that got up out of his chair and he's like, hey man, I need you to just come check something out. And I said, what? And he's like, I got a location for you in Redlands. I said, Redlands? I'm born and raised Redlands, man. So you know me, I know every corner. And I said, I'll check it out. I'll never turn down a business opportunity. I talked to my wife. She says, you know what? That's going to be tough. It's Christmas, it's New Year's, a lot of spending to do. And I said, well, let's just hear him out. We walk over here into this beautiful location here you're sitting in now. And he gives me the key and he says, I'll check it out. This location was actually already a barbershop in the past. Then became a beauty salon. And when I walked into it, it had pink walls, it had some flooring done, decor and stuff like that. Electrical was run. Everything was good. All I had to do was just invest in flooring in my station. So I thought that God cut me a deal right there, Yeah. So I couldn't turn it down, man. I looked at my wife when I got home and I right there where your Toyota Tundra is parked, I brought my daughter and I spent like an hour and a half just sitting in front of the location before I said yes. And I looked at my daughter and I said, hey man, I think we're gonna open up a location right here. She goes, no dad, I don't wanna do it. I said, why not? She said, you're gonna go back to work and I'm not gonna see you anymore. I was like, dang. Yeah, I thought about it, but it's gonna be your location now. Jay has his location, you'll have your own location, kO'S Fades. My daughter's name is kO'Mi, but we nicknamed her KO, so I ended up turning this location to kO'S Fades. Like I said, man, God's time, not my time, bro. I was not ready for this, man. I was too comfortable at home, bro. I had just bought the Sunday ticket. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna enjoy my football on Sundays, you know what I mean? I'm barbecue, I'm kick back, but God put me back to work, man. And we jumped in here, man. The gentleman gave me the keys to look at the location. I never gave him back the keys. He said, it's yours. So I mean, when it's time, it's time, bro.
Yeah.
And you feel like it touched an emotional spot because, I mean, I know you since we were youngsters, and coming back to Redlands, you're like, man, that's...
Bro, you have no idea, man. Yeah. It's funny because when my wife and I had just the idea. We weren't even ready for this. So we were going to save up for this. You know, we want to put ourselves in a financial burden. We're going to have to come up with a plan. We don't even know if this place is going to do anything. You know, Jay's Face did what it did. At that time, we just put our faith forward. So when the location came here nearby, that's one of the conversations I took with my daughter. And I said, babe, my daughter didn't want to be here. She's like, no, Dad, I don't want to come back to work. And I said, look, you don't have to be here all day. Grandma Anna lives up the street. I said, Shakey's Pizza is right next door. We got 31 flavors of ice cream downtown Redlands. Yeah. All Targets up the street. Yeah. Movies is right there. Citrus Plaza. Everything that you like to do when we leave town at home, when you come to Redlands, it's going to be near your location now. You know, and so she decided, she goes, okay, Dad, let's do it. This morning, I don't know if, before you guys got here, I just dropped her off at my mom's, but she woke up at 7:30 in the morning, and she decided to come to the shop today with me. You know, and again, it's God's blessing, just allowing me to spend time with her. You know, my wife is at home with my son right now, and I got to hang out with her for 8 hours while I worked. But still, it's fun just to take her to the liquor store next door, get her a snack, you know.
It's also a motivation, to keep going forward now that you see that she's...
It is, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, dude. With those 3 days that I was taking off, man, I got too comfortable, bro. You know, I lost my discipline in myself. I started drinking a lot, hanging out too long outside. You know what I mean? Just lost the motivation, bro. Like there was the shop was done. It's over. Like I had nothing. I mean, I have the shop, but I didn't have something to push me forward to stay disciplined. You know, my manager here, you know, I'm thankful for him, but he would call me sometimes on Sundays, bro, and I'm barely waking up, like at 12, 1, hungover. You know, the wife is giving me some menudo. She's like, dude, you came home from poker last night, and you don't remember what happened. And I'm just like, man, you know, just too much time in my hand, bro. It's not good for me. I know that as a person, as a man, as a human being, that I need to stay busy in order for me to continue staying disciplined. So when God presents this for me, dude, I'm locked in, man. You know what I mean? Every day I've been waking up early in the morning, going to the gym, taking my kids to school, you know, eating healthier, drinking lots of water now. Less of this, more water, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Which anyways, cheers to you, bro.
Cheers.
Your sobriety, bro. Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, no alcohol.
No alcohol.
A month now. I can say Tuesday, a month.
A month.
Time flies.
I had about 8 hours until I had a sip of this. But, you know, it works.
Working on it.
Little by little, man. It's challenging. But, you know, we're here now. And like I said, man, I'm trying to stay disciplined, dude. And I think that God had his intentions for that. You know, he's like, dude, if te doy mucho tiempo, y eso es lo que quieres. You know what I mean? And it's like, the vision's right here, bro.
So what's the next step? Developing a team out here to like what you have in Yucaipa, the brother barbershop, you can say? Yes,
these are sibling barbershop. You're right. You're right on that. That's what I call it. That's how I've been advertising it. That's how I've been communicating to my followers on Instagram, our followers at the barbershop. We have a big surrounding here of networking that we're doing with Toyota and Redlands across the street from us. You know, some of the general managers there sat in our chair up there in Jay's Face, and they're just like, dude, we're happy that you're coming close. You know, down the street, Redlands PD, we have a lot of good, strong contacts in this area. So I think that it's nice to present them a sibling barbershop here with the same type of structure that we have over there at Jay's Face, the same integrity. We appointed a young man named Juan Alcaraz, who's we call him our district manager now, right? Because he was our manager up there at Jay's Face Barbershop. And when we came with him with the idea of, hey man, look, it's moving so fast, but we're thinking of opening up in the second location. This gentleman just jumped on track, dude. I think you guys had the opportunity to meet him on the way out. You know what I mean?
I think we met him last time too. He was doing some recording for you too from the beginning. I think.
Was he?
He was like barely starting. I think.
Oh, okay. So let me get into his story real quick. So Juan de Alcaraz is probably the only person who I did not hire. This is a person who my wife interviewed. I was too busy at the moment, and he was coming out of high school. A little bit of a rough pass. His dad's not presently here now, right? He's in Mexico at the moment. But he had to kind of climb into the father and role model and man of the house role, right? So he helps his mom and his sister kind of get acquainted at home and stuff like that. So this gentleman comes and presents himself to the shop and says he wants to purchase at our barbershop at Jay's Face in Yucaipa. And my wife and one of my nieces had the opportunity to interview him. And I was just too busy. You guys know me, I'm booked back to back, and it was hard for me to open up my schedule just to have a 15, 20-minute conversation with them. Comes out the back, and my wife, he leaves the barbershop, says hello to everybody and bye to everybody, and my wife looks at me and she goes, I like this kid. And I say, he looks like a cholo. You know? I was like, you sure? And I'm like, man, I don't know, baby. You're too young, you know. Oh, he just graduated high school. He's very respectful. Shook our hands. You know, that's what he does have. He definitely has that. He's a very respectful individual, man. You know, he's big on that. Shaking hands, saying hello, all that stuff.
Yeah, he did that to us and presented himself.
That's how he is, man. Since I met him, you know.
Yeah.
So my wife goes, we're going to set him up with a second interview. And I said, cool. Second interviews here at Jay's Face Barbershop. It's a hands-on. We want to see where you're coming from. How do you cut hair? How do you interact with our customers, you know, with people? So he didn't know, but actually I sat with him that day for a second interview. I was on the way out of town. It was my birthday weekend. We're going to Vegas. We're going to watch a Raider game with the family, my wife and my kids. And so I sat there real quick on the way out just to get chopped up, you know, go to Vegas with a fresh cut. I get there, and the gentleman, you know, he later tells me, I didn't know you were the owner. He says, I thought you were some square-ass dude in the front. And I was like, well, that's how I like to present myself, you know. Yeah. We all have a past, but
treat everybody
the same. And he sits down, he gets nervous. And when he comes down to getting the razor out, he cuts me in the back of my neck. And he's like, oh, man, I cut you, bro. I'm so sorry, man. You know, at this point, he's thinking, like, I'm not going to get the job. And I say, man, don't worry about it, bro. That's why I have the second interviews with one of us, so we can experience this, and then I can teach you off of it. It's a teaching lesson. So we go over to my first station. He was cutting down my third up there, and I bring him over, and there's a septic powder that stops the bleeding immediately. And I show him how to do it professionally. I say, look, bro, this is how you do it. If it happens to one of my customers, don't ever get scared. Just, you know, control the moment. You know, if you get scared, the customer is going to get scared. Just tell him, hey, man, don't move real quick. I'm just going to wipe you down real quick or something like that, you know. And he then told me afterwards, he says, you know, I know I probably didn't get the job. And I said, oh, no, I need you to stay the rest of the day. I'm leaving out of town. I need you to cover my shift. And he goes, you got the job? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I just cut you. It's okay. I'd rather you cut me, man, than cut one of my customers. I need you to learn. After that, he locked in, bro. He was just like, man, these guys didn't push me away. He gave me an opportunity. He was there. He was a quiet guy. You know, he's just in the back, just doing his thing, working. One day he comes up to me and he goes, Alan, you know, I'm not making enough money here. I got to go. And I told him, and you guys can ask him next time you see him. I sat him in the back and I said, hold on. Look, give yourself a real opportunity at this, bro. We all start this way. You got to build your client. Give it time. And I said, I'm going to teach you what I learned in 15 years. I'm going to teach it to you in 2. But give me a good 2 solid years. Let me at least give you your license. After that, make whatever decision you want to make. You want to move, you want to go into construction, roofing, I don't care. But have your business, have your barber's license, so later on in the future, you have that, right? Who would have thought that 2.5 years later, this gentleman is starting up my team here in Venice, California. He has been doing interviews, hiring, networking, strong communications with the city. He has his own connections with Toyota Renlands now. Like, this gentleman is just doing it all. You know, he goes over and beyond for not just kO'S fades, but for Jay's fades. And to let you guys know, this guy has grown closer to our family, where he takes care of my kids, man. Like, this guy will literally walk to the liquor store with them and come back. And when I try to give him $5 in return, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah, it was just some bag of chips. That's how he is, man. That's how his personality is, and that's what he has to show for the rest of the city. When you guys meet him, it's all hospitality, man. It's all business for him. You know what I mean? He's got a great mindset. I think that kid in the future is probably gonna have his own barbershop one day, for sure.
Sure.
And it's also important that you look at it that way too, because you could have been an asshole or something, you know.
Yeah.
And so get out of here, you know, or something.
But we'll go back to the purpose, man, and God's purpose. I think that I'm not just meant to be a barber or a business owner, right? I'm here to just mentor and be an example for young men who are coming into this culture, dude, that just don't have any guidance, man. We didn't have it growing up. We thought that playing soccer was going to get us out of the hood. We thought that was.
He still thinks that.
Pero ya, el Buki se chingó la rodilla, pero si no estuviera en el Galaxy.
He's still working on it.
So, you know, I'll probably be playing like
with Lakers.
Nah, they would have transferred me from
con el Chicharito.
MLS.
Con el Chicharito or
I would have been like in Seattle Sounders or something.
Imagine. No, estuvieras con el Messi dándole el agua.
In Miami. No, but it's crazy, you know, because, you know, like, God's timings are perfect. I remember, man, me and Alan used to ride the bus, you know, and like he says, you know, like, we've been there, done, you know, everybody has a backstory, and you know, to see him personally grow up in the barber industry, you know, when he barely started cutting hair. Antes no me cortaba el pelo con él. I mean, we kind of lose tracks of, you know, el tiempo pasa.
The life goes on, man.
Y los compas a veces no te hablan ya cuando miré.
Somos compas, pero en Instagram and social media, that's how we stay connected.
Yeah.
Pero el momento que uno, like, we run into each other, it's like, we pick up from where we left off, bro.
Yeah.
Es más, hasta le voy a pedir mis taquetes que le dejé en su casa.
Los del bofo.
Que tenía el 100 ahí. No, los naranjados del Cuauhtémoc, bro. Tú sabes, ¿eh?
For sure, man. And it's, you know, but me, you know, when I see, you know, people from here, because Redlands is small like Yucaipa, you know, so you know everybody. So cuando miras a alguien, you know, que sobresale, you know, that takes, you know, the next step and comes up in life, you know, it's like you know, you feel like you're doing it too as well, you know,
bro.
because
you get to see the progress, you get to see the whole thing, the process.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, man. You know, and vice versa, bro. I'm gonna return that. I'm gonna rebuttal that for you because I saw you guys when we first started. I was like, man, like at the time, I mean, it was nothing. My shop had 0 clients. You know what I mean?
We kind of started together almost.
We did. Yeah, it was been, you said 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, July 1st this year would be my 4th year in business out there in Yucaipa. And I remember looking back in your video the other day, I was trying to show my wife. And I saw the Jay's Face logo in the background, and I was like, dang, I forgot how cool that thing looked back then. Well, 3 years later, that thing's covered up with the station because we grew. We went from 6 chairs to 12 chairs, and we needed that space. Yeah. And it wasn't part of our plan. It was part of God's plan, but not my plan.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, coming here today and having this conversation with you guys and seeing how far you've gotten, you know, with each other and individual with this community, how many followers you guys have, how many mutual followers I have with you guys now, because I'm like, do these guys know that guy too? It's crazy, man. You guys are really out here networking. You're doing your job. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're communicating good news, bad news, where you guys are playing next, everything, bro. And you know, it's amazing to see that something so small that started in just a garage could so big. You know what I mean? So I see you guys' progress too, man. So you know, that's a huge respect for you guys, man.
And for all the people watching, you know, this podcast right now, if you guys really want to, you know, watch the first part that we recorded, you know, 3 years ago, you know, it explains more in the detail how the first Jade's Fade started, and you know, you guys can relate back to that video. Yeah. But you know, today we're focusing on kO'S Fades, you know,
the sister barbershop,
sibling barbershop, yeah. The cooler, much stronger of my two. You know what I mean?
And then for all the people watching us, like, you know, 3 years ago, you know, that's how Alan has built his brotherhood in his barbershop. Like, I could say, you know, the same guys are still there. You know,
a lot of them still there. Yeah.
There's obviously there's more barbers now, but you know, the same guys that started with you are still there.
And let me just add to that, Bookie. You guys stop calling Jay's Face for Juan and my boy Josh. They're here in Redlands now. Okay, so you guys can come find them here at kO'S Fades, 802 West Colton Avenue, guys, in Redlands, California. You guys know the rest. Okay, walk-ins. You guys can make appointments. You should just come in here and check out the flooring, man. This flooring is
nice.
dope.
It's nice.
Yeah, bro.
It's nice.
I walked in, I saw my reflection on the floor. Oh, it's crazy.
I don't think I can get up off this chair after this flooring, dude. My back has been shot since this flooring, dude. This is crazy. You know what I mean? This flooring is amazing. The whole layout. You know, credit to my wife. You know, she really had a vision for this one, and
I like the black and white. How you kind of kept it similar to what you have over there.
We definitely wanted a lot of similarities, but at the same time something different to put, right? Something that focused on both of our kids. You know what I mean? My son's glamorous. My son is like, he wants to be out there. He's shiny. He's outspoken. He's out there, bro. Like, he's a leader, you know. And my daughter, bro, she's quiet, but when she says something, it's loud. You know what I mean? So it's just how this shop looks. And you walk in and you don't have to say much. And as soon as you walk in, it just pops out on your face. Yeah. And the flooring pops out. The chairs flop out. The big mirrors flop out.
I had to put on my sunglasses.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's definitely, I think, two different personalities of my kids. And how my wife was able to put it all together and just compliment both of those kids, man. I have no idea how she did it. I still salute her, you know, and she's a big part of this whole, both locations, not just this one, but the ideas and everything she put together, man. I couldn't see it. She did. She was just telling me, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. I need you to put this here, I need you to put that there. And I'm like, I thought I was the boss here. You know what I mean? And she goes, no, you just wear the pants, you know what I mean? But I choose them for you. You know what I mean?
You wear the pants, but I choose them for you.
I choose them for you. All right, cool. Tell me what I got to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, it was definitely a big process here with her, and we got a little closer, especially being partners in business, you know, because we own half and half. So it's just, we never wanted one of us to be superior than the other. We just kind of want to have that equality and say, hey, you know what, it takes effort from both of us, you know, every day. You know, whether I'm here working and she's at home taking care of the kids, and she's checking in on payroll, and she's sending emails, she's communicating with things that I can't, internet problems or whatever's going on at the time. I just call her up, like, hey, can you handle it? She's on it, bro. You know what I mean? So she's a big support. So I appreciate having her, and, you know, salute and saludos, okay?
And we were talking about Edgar behind the scenes a little bit. How's Edgar? We haven't visited him in a while. Edgar? He's also been on the podcast, one of the very first too, as well.
Edgar's been on a couple. I think you guys had a podcast with him when he got shot in the foot or something.
Yeah.
So he was able to survive out of it fine,
Yeah.
and somehow landed him in my barbershop as one of my, I call him my first employee, but he wasn't. This guy was the second, but he just taking through. Okay, this guy's been with me since 2020. What was it, 22? 24?
Yeah.
2022.
22.
This gentleman came out of the blue. I reached out to him one time, saying, hey, bro, I need some help. I see you on Instagram. You're kind of here. Let me help you out. I got a program for you that's going to get you your license. And sure enough, man, this guy shows up one day, and he's like, well, what do you want me to set up? Tell him set up in the back. He's got some support from his friends, some of the guys that he played with. They're coming over, Alex and
Angel.
And he's got other guys that come and support him. And, you know, he started doing really well. It was one of the slowest times in Jay's fades. Like, it was like really empty in there. Point where 2 years later he got his license. One of the first apprentices at that shop to get his license, and we ended up promoting him afterwards. After getting his license, we promoted him to assistant manager now, so he takes full care of that shop up there, which he's filling in for Juan, because Juan came down here to kO'S fades. So that was kind of a hard shift, because it kind of took a real strong leader there that we had in Juan, and I'd rather have both of those guys there to kind of hold that shop together. You know what I mean? So now these guys are so far and distant that they got to communicate through text messages, phone calls. You know, I'm in the picture, but I really let them handle it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever they say, it goes. You know, they call me later and say, hey, Alan, you know, we had to do this, we had to do that. Like, I support them 100%. You know what I mean? I guide them, but I also set them up for success. You know, I tell them, hey, bro, you got to deal with these situations, because if you're calling me, bro, what I got you there for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to go head on. I mean, Juan, he's like I say, he's solid, man. I really don't have to worry too much about him. Like, he handles it. Edgar stepping into this role, he's kind of more like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, bro, I already told you what to do. I need you to show me. And he's like, all right, I got it. And I tell him, hey, bro, what makes you ready for this position now? You know, like, what makes you ready for leadership? And he goes, and I got a kid now, bro. And I'm like, that's what I was looking for.
Motivation.
That was the answer. Because when I had my first kid, it was do or die, bro. That was it. You know what I mean? And when he answered that in the interview when we were getting him the position, that was all the answer I needed. I said, okay, if I ask you to do anything, or if you need to do anything, you're gonna do it, because you can, in the back of your head, you're gonna say, can't fail my kid. Back home, empty. You know what I'm saying, I put the money in the safe, and I got to put it in the savings account, and I got to put the bread on the table. So when he answered that, I said, okay, this guy matured. This guy's ready. This guy is ready for this next role, and he's doing a great job out there. You know, he's doing his thing up there. He's learning a lot. You know, he's entering a new world, because you guys all know Edgar. Yeah. You guys know Edgar. You know, Edgar with me night. The guy was twirling his finger like, let's go get a beer, bro. I'm like, dude, I was like, man, it's 8:30 though, man. Like, let's go home. He's like, nah, bro. I mean, this man like he had a small time frame where he was just kind of like, bro, ain't got nothing to do at home. I'd rather go out to hang out with the Floyds, or go kick it, have a beer with Alan,
bar or something.
But as soon as he had his kid, man, this guy matured, bro. It's like a light switch went on in his head. You know, a couple times here while we're cleaning the shop. I can't go. I gotta go, bro. He's like, I'm like, whoa, just a beer, man. He's like, bro, you know how tender those babies are? He's like, if I have a drink and I drop that baby, bro, and I'm like, bro, you'll be fine, dude. Relax.
You're like, here, take one for the baby.
Put him on tummy time, bro.
The phrase.
I'm walking in the door and he sees. ¿Qué onda, pinche?
Yeah, man.
Y le digo, you don't have another
No,
communication
that's
line
it,
for
bro.
me? He said, nah. He said, I'm gonna keep it nice. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. No. It was like what, 6 months now, 7 months?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, bro, and he won't drink.
And you know it's crazy.
Bro.
Like I'm telling you, when we that's like on soccer podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's crazy because member, so he's been with us in some hard times. Yeah, he was with us, through thick and thin back in the days.
Well, what you're trying to tell me is what I already know, bro. It's loyalty, man.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
You don't gotta give, bro. And he's willing to give you his all, bro, for nothing. Honestly, when he first started with me, man, I couldn't even promise him a paycheck, dude. I was like, dude, if we don't get a customer today, I was buying him lunch so he wouldn't leave. I was like telling my wife, she was at the reception desk, like, bet, get us some sandwiches, get this for one too. And he would come and humbly he would say, no, you good? I'm good, bro. You guys, I'm good. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, eat something, dog. Until like 6 months later or something, bro. That's when I started seeing him develop into that. What I promised him, I was like, hey, bro, just stay here, man. Don't go nowhere. It's gonna come. You're gonna see it. 2 years later, man, I see him. He's buying trucks. He's getting his own place. He's having family. You know what I mean? Like, he's looking sharp. Like, I'm like, dude, he's got boots on. Like, I'm like, polo shirts. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, who is this guy?
What happened to Edgar?
Well, I want the other Edgar back, bro. That guy gotta have a beer with me at least. Yeah, man. Nah, it's good, man. It's a blessing, man. And like you said, bro, it's good to see people grow.
Yeah, for sure.
And to be part of that journey, man, it's just amazing because you get to tell the story.
Yeah.
Some people are living it, and some people are just seeing it. And they're both good, but at the end of the day, man, those people who witnessed it, man, they get to repeat the story over and over and over as many times as they want to.
Yeah.
Like you had a format that maybe you copied a little bit from when you started, or are you taking a different step a little bit?
So before I started Jay's Fades, before I get into that, I'll tell you that yes, kO'S Fades is a replica of Jay's Fades Barbershop, with the same experience. We don't sell the haircut, we sell the experience, right? Definitely have the platform, the same energy, the same vibes. You walk in, you feel like you're at home. Okay, all that came from Jay's Fades for sure. I learned that the hard way. I learned that from being in barbershops where, people will walk in without an appointment and barbers are yelling at them like, hey man, you don't got an appointment? Well, I can't take care of you. And it's a father-son. They probably just wanted to experience that barbershop for the first time. They didn't know that there was an app. They didn't know that there was a business card out there. They just walk in for the first time and they get pushed. To me, as a person, it just made me feel, you kind of feel for those people. You're just like, man, I wish I could cut your hair right now, but I'm booked.
Yeah.
So when I opened up the shop, I told the guys, we got to take the walk-in. You don't ever know. Maybe they're just here for that one time, and they won't ever come back again. So giving them that first experience, that great overall experience, and it'll keep bringing them back. Then you give them your business card, then you let them know, hey man, book with me, right? All of this I mimicked off of one shop in the city, Yucaipa. And I don't know if I should give him the credit, but I'll give the owner the credit. Okay, his name is Guillermo Prieto. Okay, this gentleman that goes by the name of Memo. And when I came into his shop, he taught me everything I knew. I know now. Okay, and it started with respect, and it started with integrity, and just did not allow you to go into a shop not even 2 minutes late. If you were there at 8:01 in the morning, he's sending you home. You have to have pants on. You have to have your hair done. No hats. You got to wear a smock. Your station has to be clean. You have to be ready for haircuts. Don't be sitting in your chair. You're gonna be standing behind the chair. You're here to work. You're not here to sit down. He had that type of structure in that shop. Walk-ins only. That shop would get filled, man. And I'm here kind of here, bro. I'm just trying to make my paycheck, make my living. Well, as I'm working with him, I gained the experience of what he had, which is leadership. I got the knowledge of running a business. I got the knowledge that he provided for me. The only thing I changed from that shop going to my shop was the appointments. I added that. So I'm able to balance both now. I have 12 chairs, 12 guys in the chair, and I have appointments, I also have walk-ins. So I took a piece of that, and I added the appointments, and I put it into Jay's Fades, and that's what bloomed. So now from Jay's Fades and the mistakes that I made there, I took a piece from that and I brought it over here to kO'S Fades. So as you can tell, we're sitting in the middle of what we call our waiting area. There's no waiting area here, if you notice.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was just gonna say there's only the one.
Well, actually, that wasn't even supposed to be there.
Okay.
We just brought it over just so people can sit down and hang out with Juan because he gets busy. So what we've noticed and what we've experienced at Jay's Fades is that, can you bring your son in sometimes?
Yeah,
let's just say that Edgar was in the back, not in the front chair. You would have to walk all the way to the back and stand while your son got a haircut, or your wife would have to stand while your son got a haircut.
Yeah.
So now we provide these little small sofas here. We're gonna put them all in between. Well, they're here in between the middle towards the back. So if the moms have to go to the back with one of the barbershops, they don't have to be scared and watch them from a distance. They can just be up close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that's another difference. So we learned that from experience.
Yeah.
Over there at Jay's Fades, there's one shampoo bowl in the corner, and every time there was a haircut, the mom and the daughter were down there waiting for the little brother, to get a haircut with one of the last barbers. And we have TVs and all that back there too, but you can't enjoy them if you're standing up.
Yeah.
And then you can't have your kid, you have to keep them in your arms while you're standing. The moms, they get tired from just carrying the kid all day, right? So we wanted to provide a better experience. So what we learned from there to here was just adding that small detail. We're going to put the sofas down the middle. You guys can come in. If it's a haircut with Alan, you can sit in the front one. If it's a haircut down at the very end, one of our new barbers, you can sit in the back. Bring your family. You can wait there. We still obviously have the complimentary drinks. We have the water, the soda, the beers, the whiskey, tequila. It's one per customer, just to kind of have a good time and hang out, have the whole experience, right? But yeah, that was one of the things we changed. So that's why we have these little sofas, and they're comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
They feel nice.
And it's only one beer per limit, because then you end up like with people like Productions that just come in for beer. You know what?
You know what? Oh man, that's why we have the non-alcoholic beers for you guys. You know what I mean? Maybe you guys can have more than one.
Yeah, for sure.
You know how you were talking about maybe you thought when you got baptized, maybe God wanted you to open up a school. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the future, that's something you could do. Maybe it is something that God has planned for you, but como estamos diciendo, God's timing, no?
God's timing.
But step by step.
Yeah, I think that my vision, since it kind of wasn't clear, so my feeling was more like towards the school.
Okay.
Now I kind of realized that it was obviously the second barbershop, but it's not the school that's going to teach you. It's the person or the teacher that's in the school, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how many times you guys went to school and you guys only remember three of your good teachers out of all grades that you went into? I remember my 5th grade teacher the most. I think
she was cute.
No, it's a him. Yeah.
Oh,
he was cute.
I just remember the cute one. Not
he was cute. No, actually, his name is. I went to Franklin Elementary School in 5th grade. I had Mr. Holsch. And I remember him so much because he had a positive way of how to address you for not doing your homework or things like that. And he promised you incentives. He was always like, if you guys don't get good grades on this next test, I'm going to make you guys a rattlesnake chili. And it was like, rattlesnake chili? I never had that. Took us hiking one time and he caught a rattlesnake in front of us. And he cooked it for us and he made a chili for us.
Damn.
So those type of experiences make you realize that was a good teacher.
Yeah.
He went over and out.
Yeah.
He really kept his word. He had the integrity, and I learned a lot. Lastly, when I doing this right here, I have to be Mr. Holsch. I have to leave these guys with something to remember. You know what I mean? Something to grasp an experience with, to have for the future. You know what I mean? That experience in whole with Mr. Holsch, obviously, I had straight A's in that class because he motivated me so much. I wanted to be.
You didn't want to eat that, the rattlesnake.
Oh, I did want to eat that. That's why I was like, I'm gonna eat that snake, bro. That rattlesnake chili, I never had it, and I didn't have it. And he brought it to us in our lunch hour too, when we go out to eat and then we go to recess. Bro, he gave us a little bit in like a little styrofoam cup just to try it, bro. Bro, it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I still remember it to this day. I was over 30-something years ago. Yeah, but just to say this, that the vision was a school, bro. But the purpose is different now. Mm-hmm. Now it's for me to teach these guys. And that's enough for a school. I don't have to have a school. I can still teach them from where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I did it with the 12 chairs that I did at Jay's Phase. So now the purpose is doing it here. I'm coming across people who I never thought would be working in this barbershop. I have different individuals. I have a guy named Tony up there in Yucaipa. His younger brother, who was our sweeper, who is now apprenticing with us here at kO'S Fades. And the guy is good, man. I mean, that's la lleva. Obviously Tony has him by far, a little bit over a year of experience. but his brother's on his heels, man. And like I told the guys up there, I said it's funny how I have the original barber Tony up there in Yucaipa, now I have his brother in kO'S Fades as siblings, and our shops are siblings. You know what I mean? Like it just feels it feels cool. You know what I mean? And so, and the kid gets down, he does designs and all that stuff. And then we recently acquired Marcos. This gentleman is from Rev right now. He goes to Renaissance Valley, and he's friends with one of my cousins, one of my blood cousins. And he's like, "Hey, dude, I got this guy. He wants a cut." And I said, "Cool, bring him over." I spoke to him. I spoke to his dad. We actually just signed off on his permit for school so he can have a permit to work. I spoke to his dad. We had a sit-down conversation. You know, I'm very transparent when it comes to the business point of this. I don't want everybody thinking that I'm taking advantage of the kids or things of that nature, you know. So I want to make sure that they know, hey, bro, I'm just here to teach your kid. Give him some kind of tools for the life. That's it. You know, by the time he's done with me and he goes into his own shop or he goes and does some kind of a different work, at least he'll have that experience, that back door if he ever wants to come back. You know what I mean? You know, I can go up and down. Juan, I got Josh. Josh started me right after Edgar. He's been with me for over 3 years now too. You know, that man right there, I mean, he's quiet, but he's busy all the time. You know, he's just one of those guys. His work does his talking, you know. So, yeah, going back to that vision in the school, I don't think the school's ever going to happen to me, honestly. And I don't have any more kids, so I can't open any more shops.
It's more the teaching than
But it's the teaching. Yeah, that's what the vision was. And it's funny because when I spoke to my wife, we were looking for a location to open up a school. We looked into it. We did our research and stuff. And my wife was kind of like, not all of them have financial aid. How are we going to help these kids? How are we going to afford it? It's going to come out of our pockets. A lot of it will come out of our pockets. And she goes, who's teaching them? Because you're going to have to be at the barbershop working to provide our for our bills and stuff at home. How are you going to do it? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't have the answers. God has the answers, so I don't know. And fast forward, I think I started having visions right after I got baptized. And a little bit after October, November, it got really deep. Like I started having dreams. I started having I couldn't sleep. Dude, I was staying up to 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep.
Just insomnia?
It's insomnia, stress. I had fear of failing. Just a bunch of stuff that were just all overwhelming me. And it was my disconnection with God at the moment because during those times, I was just so focused and working and providing that kind of stopped going to church. I stopped, being around people that weren't in my church, my community. You know what I mean? Until slowly, it started coming back. I'm still in touch with them now. I listen. I can't go to church because obviously you guys know I work 7 days now. So, so it's not an excuse because now I stay connected through a podcast like you guys do now. I have my church has a podcast, so they record the sermon. They record the message every Sunday.
Shout out to them. What is the podcast?
OV Church in the city of Cali Mesa. So if you guys want to follow them, they're on podcasts on iTunes and stuff. But they also have Pastor Tom's son. They actually have another podcast, and then that one is more on marriages and day-to-day experiences as people who go to church and grew up in the life of children of pastors and stuff like that. So it's a little touchy right there because they're supposed to be perfect, and we all judge them off being perfect, but they're just like us, everybody's perfectly imperfect, right? And it's fun. It's cool to have real people talk about not just relationships with God, but with marriages, with their relationship experiences and overall. So they have that podcast too. So if you guys want to follow them, it's OV Church. You guys can go ahead and follow them on iTunes podcast. But yeah, I'm in tune with these guys. So every time they drop something and it comes up in the mornings, that's the first thing I listen to, man. I'm driving I think it's a 45-minute podcast, and every time I get a chance to get in my car and drive to work, to lunch, to the gym, I'm playing it. Just to kind of have that relationship with God, so it doesn't fade. And while God does continue to bless us, man, I wanted to show Him that I'm still putting forward an effort to try to have a relationship with Him, and like anything, right? So, that's the only way that I can keep in touch with them right now.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But hopefully later, man, this place picks up and I'm back to 9 a.m. OB Church.
It will.
It will.
Yeah, it will.
Hopefully sooner than later because I'm getting tired, bro. My back still hurts from the tile.
I have a question for you, Alan.
Shoot it.
How do you keep the harmony, the brotherhood between the guys, at Jay's Fades and then at kO'S Fades? Because obviously, the shop's full over there.
Yeah.
Give it a couple months, it'll be full here. And I know, as any work, there's some elbow rubbing here.
Yeah,
and there,
a little bickering.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's always something, guys, and I'll tell you that's part of business. My answer to you, Bookie, isn't a direct one. It's just being the person I am, I don't jump to conclusions, off the back. I kind of like to hear people. I like to listen to them. A lot of the guys, for some reason, they have this perspective on, he's my boss, he's gonna fire me, and it's at the end of the day, I tell the guys all the time, I'm not gonna fire you, bro. You're gonna fire yourself, or you're gonna quit on me before I fire you. I won't get the chance to. A lot of the guys, I want to build a relationship with them where it's an open door policy. Okay, if we have a conversation regarding work, or maybe a bad experience they had at work, and you want it to be private, we'll keep it private. I don't have to address the individual. Thank you for making me aware of it. I'll take a look into it a little deeper, and then I'll come back with an answer within 24 hours, right? That's my policy. That's what I do, and that's how I work things out. There's times where my guys at the shop have gotten out of hand, and the camaraderie, the brotherhood, like you're saying, it gets broken. There's moments in the shop where I walk in and I know something went down.
Something's off.
Yeah, something's off. The energy's not there. The vibe's off. I take Wednesdays off. I took weekends off. And I walk in and I see that the guys are kind of like to themselves, and there's no music playing, and everybody's quiet, and it's still inside the shop. And I'm like looking around, and I look at the two individual barbers, and I see them. They're not staring at each other. They're not looking at each other. There's no speaking. There's no joking. There's no, hey, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, nothing, right? So you read off those vibes. And so then later on it comes up, hey, Alan, can I talk to you? What's up? It's private. Let's go. Outside in front, or you want to go to the break room? Because if it's private, you want nobody hearing your body language, because people read off body languages. You know what I mean? So if they're watching you, you're standing outside the window, they're going to be like, man, he's snitching on me, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I take them to the break room, we have a sit-down conversation. There's times where I've even taken my guys to lunch, bro, just to talk to them, and they'll be like, hey, man, this happened yesterday. I jumped off. I got out of hand. I just want to apologize. Well, cool. I'm glad you acknowledge the fact that you made a mistake, but I still have to bring it up to the guy. No, well, I wish you won't. We talked it out. Well, why is there a bad vibe in the shop then? There's no talking it out. You guys haven't came down to a solution, shook hands, and kept pushing forward like this. I don't want this type of energy in my shop, man. I have a family-oriented barbershop for a reason. We're all family in here, bro. Yeah, I'm your boss at the end of the day. I can make some decisions and I can cut some throats, but at the end of the day, I don't have to get there. If you guys don't let it get there, there's no reason for me to step in. We're all adults. We're all mature. Talk it out. I had the two individuals go outside. They talked it out. One guy told the other guy, the norm. You disrespected me. You took my customer. Well, man, he wanted me. What am I supposed to do? No, man, but it was my turn. I was supposed to get that guy. Yeah, but he pointed at me. Maybe there was a disconnection, a miscommunication, right? I walk outside and I tell them, hey, look, you guys are looking very foolish out here, arguing about a customer. You guys all make good money. One customer is not going to change your paycheck. Maybe one day, I don't know, maybe El Buki showed up one day and Edgar's not there and he still needed a haircut. So he sits with Alan. Edgar's going to be mad at me the rest of my life for that.
As a matter of fact, there's been times where like I saw that Edgar's not available and he's like, oh no, but this guy's here, this guy's here. And he'll give me 2-3 options. Yeah.
So that's part of the whole training. We mold our guys. See, society has it where barbershops are, oh, he's my customer, he's my friend, I know him, he sits with me only. Most shops in the city, I think, are like that. If you go into a shop and you ask for another barber to cut your hair, they say, no, bro, you're homie's customers. I don't want no problems with him. They have this tough persona where it's like, hey, man, you touch my customer, we're going to be fighting in the back. And it's like, bro.
Like if that's part of the...
Yeah, that's not part of barbering. It's not. There's no barber law, man. It's a place of business. And it's like the chef that you go to Denny's and he's like, hey, man, I like the way that chef in the back makes my steak. Is it cool if he makes it only? And it's like, well, bro, he's not in today. Do you mind if the chef that's working makes your shit? We'll come back to the day he is cooking.
Just you know what I mean? How you like it.
Just tell me how you like it. I'll do it the same way. Yeah. He makes a medium rare steak. I can make a medium rare steak too. Yeah. Oh, you don't like the mushrooms on top of it with the okay, I do that too, man. Just tell me how you like it, bro. I'm gonna get you to eat today. You're gonna have a full belly by the time you leave, and the next time the chef will be there and he knows you again. I mean, he's not gonna stop cooking for you. Yeah. So these guys have the wrong persona. They take the wrong ideas from what society wants to push on them. Yeah. You got to be tough.
Like street barber rules.
No, there's no barber. There's no barber laws, bro. I'm telling you right now, okay? And vice versa. Like when customers leave my chair and they sit with my guys, man, I still make it a thing to make them welcome to film. Like, even though they might think that I'm upset with them, I'm not. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I care about them and coming into my shop. I don't care about them going with another guy in my shop. What I care is for them to go to a shop across the street and come back to me and say, hey, Alan, can you fix it? Then it's like, bro, you should have came to one of my guys, man. I wasn't here yesterday, but you could have came to my manager. You could have came to the most experienced kid with designs or something that you needed, So what I instill my guys when I do talk to them is like, hey man, we're not selling the haircut, bro. We're selling the experience. So if my guys have a good experience in my chair, if I'm chopping it up with a bookie and I'm bookie, hey, ¿cómo estás? Football, da da da. Here's a beer, bro. Another one. What about your lady? What about your kid? Does he want a juice? You want lollipop? What does he want to watch on TV? I expect Edgar to have the same hospitality that I was providing for Bookie when he left my chair and started booking with Edgar. And same thing goes when he leaves Edgar's chair and his son's now sitting with Mariah or Josh or Juan, whoever. It's the same experience in that shop. Why? Because it makes you feel welcome, makes you feel home, makes you feel like, hey man, they're not gonna trip on me. Why would you come into a barbershop thinking maybe I can't say hi to Alan today because I booked with Edgar today? It's like, dude, no, say what's up to me, man. I don't even see you, bro. It's good to see a friendly face in the shop, man. That's, just say hello, bro. If it wasn't for this podcast, if it wasn't for our barbershop, man, how many times have I ran into you in life after playing soccer with you, man?
No,
quite a few.
You probably run in more to me at the liquor store.
And you say you don't drink. That's crazy. How you don't drink and you're always at the liquor store, bro. I don't know, man.
They sell other stuff.
I hope your wife's not watching, bro, because I'm dry snitching right now. You say you don't drink, but I see you at the liquor store, bro, every Friday around 4:30 p.m., bro. That is crazy.
If he doesn't see you through the window, he sees you through the camera.
It's for my pops.
Yeah. That's what I say too when I buy alcohol. That's why I like to tell my people too. Oh, this is not for me, bro. I'm taking it back to the barbershop for a client. Yeah. That's what I tell them.
For sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Is it hard to tell, like, let's say someone walks in trying to get a job, and then, like, you could just tell, like, they're not ready for, J's fades or kO'S. Is it hard to tell them, though? Or you have to build that tough skin, like...
I'm gonna tell you what my good friend Eddie tells me. Eddie Herrera, Reynolds PD, shout out Reynolds PD, right? He says, when you're ready, okay? We all ask him, he's a big workout geek, and we ask him for, info on eating and exercise, and he says, when you're ready. Same thing goes with Jay's Fades. You're not going to come to Jay's Fades unless you're ready. And that doesn't mean you're the best barber. That means that if you're ready to learn, you're ready to step into these shoes, and you're ready to get better. Okay? If you have the discipline to come in every day and learn, I won't push you away. I'd rather have that, bro, than a cocky-ass barber who's coming in here thinking he's too good for the shop. And it's happened. Oh, I used to charge 40. Why am I charging 35? Well, then why didn't you stay at that shop that was charging 40? What was so bad at that shop that you couldn't hang with these guys or stick it out with that shop and you're making more money there? Why are you coming to a $35 Jay's Fades barbershop in Yucaipa? Like, I don't understand. Right. So what you learn is that, number one, they don't have self-discipline. Shop opens at 10. They don't want to show up till 10:30, 10:45, 11. They want to leave at 2. They don't have that, bro. You know what I mean? I'd rather take a guy, and I won't say no names because shout out the guys I have in Yucaipa, but some of these guys stuck it out with me. They used to walk to the front with their customer and then look over in the corner of the eye to see if I approve. And it was like a shameful walk because they knew they fucked up that guy's hair. And I just look at him like, man, bro, what the heck? Why'd you do that? Lo destaparon todo de acá atrás. It looks bald now, bro. You should have left some hair back here. That guy 45, man. No, I'm just kidding. They want to put paint on their foreheads and their ears. And I'm like, dude, he's blonde. Why are you putting black paint on his head? Bro, he's blonde, bro. What are you guys doing?
Oh, I thought he was losing the color.
Man, but, shout out to those people who stick it out, though, man. I'd rather take that. So when you tell me, well, how do I know if they're ready? I won't know, bro, until they're face forward on the ground talking about I want to quit. That's it. And it's like, you quit today, man. You're gonna go home and tell your family you quit because I didn't fire you.
Yeah,
you're quitting, right? Yeah. It's shameful to go home and tell your family.
That's true.
Quit, but it's one thing you kind of like just me corrieron. It's kind of like, well,
you're kind of just telling them like, don't let me down. Don't let
me down.
Yeah,
I have that going on at the moment right now with certain barbers that I have who. They feel that they're not as good as the other barbers in the shop. And that's okay. I tell them all the time, your strengths and your weaknesses, bro, are different than what I got. You think I want to do design? Heck no, bro. I'd rather do simple haircuts all day and get out of the damn barbershop. These guys spend 45 minutes on a design, bro, one person. Yeah. I can't hold a conversation for that long. How you doing? Good morning. How was your day? That was it. 15, 20 minutes later, bro, I'm running out of things to ask you. You know what I mean? Bro, well, you say, like to eat? What's your favorite color? Yeah, you ever thought about trying out Thai spoon CrossFit? Yeah. Nah,
Start
bro.
promoting stuff around here.
Yeah. Have you been to a donut shop? No, bro. It's just like, what do you get at Thai Spoon? You know what I mean? No, bro. It's just, as you mature as a barber, as you mature as a perper, and you kind of realize these guys don't want to be in the chair longer than 20, 30 minutes. They got things to do. Diego, Buki, you know how your day goes, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we really it took us a year to plan this out. We're busy, everybody's busy. I mean, we tried it over the year. Didn't work out for me. Didn't work out for you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I ain't got nothing to do after 2 p.m. on a Sunday. I go home, eat, and sleep. You know what I mean? Now I got to wake up again tomorrow and start all over my week.
The grind, yeah.
The grind's back. So, say this before I finish that. Sometimes the people you hire, bro, are probably the ones you think aren't going to work out, and they work out the best. You know what I mean? I have an individual in the shop who, man, he's a real humble dude, real nice guy. Everybody loves him. We love him. My wife loves him. My kids love him. Everybody in the shop loves him. Hell, he's got love up there in the city. And people always call and ask for him. This gentleman came in, man, and first came in, he was wearing boots and looked all choloed out, bro. And I was like, oh, that's for the apprenticeship over here. And damn, I don't know if I want that to present my shop, because off a wire, or one of those electric wires hanging on his neck, bro. Las Palmas. No, like we're not gonna, do that fucking tat right here, barber pole on his side, fucking tattoo over his eyebrow, bro.
Redlands on his forehead.
I think the first time he met us, he said, "What's up, locos?" And I was like,
"Bro, hired."
You're in your kaipo right now, homie. Like,
he came in like, and don't be a menace. Hey, hurry,
bro,
y'all hiring. What's
how
up?
y'all hiring? What's up? We're like, dog, what the fuck? He didn't have the pink flip flops. He had boots. Yeah, one of those guys, bro.
So he didn't get the job?
Bro, we love him to death, man. This is our second time hiring him back.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So the first time we hired him, we gave him the apprenticeship and he was in there locked in, bro. And this gentleman became a really good friend of ours, really good friend of me, honestly, personally. And I guess I kind of transitioned a lot of myself into him. Growing up, I saw, he's coming from a certain background and he wanted to be somebody, and I want to become somebody too. I don't want to be respected. I want to be a certain individual people knew about and stuff like that, and for a good reason. And this gentleman is trying to change up his life too, and he's trying to do something good with his barbering thing. And he has skills. He has math skills to this day. He's a really great barber, but his people skills speak louder than his barber skills. Okay, this gentleman would come into his shop, man, and just like you see him, and I'm sending down, the ladies with their kids. Oh, this gentleman got you, and the ladies are kind of like, whoa, like, my kid's gonna sit with that guy. And the first thing Anthony does is, he grabs the baby and he puts him, I got you, Papa. What you want? You want a lollipop, Papa? You want to watch cartoons, Papa? Oh, Papa, you're going to look good with this haircut. He's cutting him up, talking to the baby, you know what I mean? He's like, what are those shoes, Papa? Oh, I'll put a Spider-Man cape on you, things like that. Hospitality,
yeah.
Bro. And, the ladies are kind of like pushed away from him first. They're kind of just reading him. Next to you leaving, what was that guy's name back there? We like the way he cut my son's hair. We like the experience here. Oh, his name's Anthony. Oh, business card. Bro, that guy was getting busy. A lot of the people were calling for him, asking for him, And then the gentleman made a decision. He said, hey, bro, look, I got an opportunity to go do welding. I got to go. I don't know how to tell you. He calls me Pops. He goes, Pops, I got to go, man. And he tells me, I look up to you, man. Like, I really respect you. You're like a father figure for me. And I said, bro, do what you got to do, man. For your family. Like, I can't knock the hustle, bro. You're still going to be working. So I'm glad. I was really glad that he just left on good terms with me. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I appreciate you. We'll stay in contact. We would talk, bro, while he was off. He was doing his own thing, man. The fool was pulling up in a Harley. You know what I mean? He was pulling up in his new lifted truck. And I was like, bro, you're doing your thing, bro. Like, good for you, man. I can't knock it, bro. I'm proud of people like that, to better themselves. So lastly, this gentleman ends up getting hurt at work, and he goes, I don't know what to do. I said, damn, bro, I just opened up a new shop. I want you to come back with us. And he locked in with me. He's like, for whatever you need, bro. He's like, I got you. He's like, so let me get my things right. I'm right there with you wherever you need me, bro. And I was like, for reals? He's like, yeah. Dog, I hired him back. Well, I can't even make this up, dog. As soon as I hired him back, my daughter, my son, my wife, they're all excited about it. Anthony's coming back. Oh yeah, we like Anthony, bro. That's the type of person, that's the type of energy he brings. Man, I was this close, bro, and I'll testify to you right now, this close to ripping him from Juan and bringing him back up to Yucaipa. You know what I mean? That was just a business persona for me. Like I was like, oh, este cabrón, like, oh, he's gonna bring back all my old customers, you know, because they left. Some of the customers left. They couldn't find, you know, some of the guys up there, they're really good barbers, but they're not good with kids. They're impatient. They get anxiety or like something like that. You know what I mean? So the moms feel it. You know, they kind of rush them. You know what I mean? They're kind of just like, oh man, he's crying. You know what I mean? And there's only certain barbers, bro, that are really good with kids. You know, and Anthony's one of those guys that he's got his own kids. You know what I'm saying? He coaches his kids' football team. He wants to be there for them. Like he's a good dude. And so, man, I was just close to ripping him away from here. I was like, man, I want him, bro. It's like one of those Pokemon cards that just it's autographed and it's got the you know, it's sparkling, bro. You just want that, you know. I'll give you 10 cards for that one, bro. Like, damn, let me get him back. You know what I mean? So,
but you got him here in kO'S now.
But you know what? It's a beautiful thing to have him here, man. I think that he's gonna do really well here, and as a matter of fact, this gentleman, we had our Christmas party on, I think it was late December, I believe, and you know, it was just in time when we hired him and we invited him in over too. Come on, bro, like you be part of this. So we did like our gifts exchange here, gifts exchange up there, and dog, he went over and out for me. He treated me like fucking, you know what I mean, like royalty, bro. And he got me a nice gift, which I'm wearing on my wrist right now, but we'll leave that to another day. But you know, just what he said to me was like, I know you're gonna put it all back in my pocket. And this time he came with a different vibe. Mentality was like, hey bro, I'm gonna stick it out this time. And he tells me, you were right, Pops. He goes, you're right. I told him before he left the first time, I said, bro, how do you want to break your back, man? I know that it's good money and it's quick money, bro. But can you do that the rest of your life, bro? You can go until 55 to retire. You're gonna have a bad back, bro. You're not gonna be able to pick up your kids. Welding, underground welding. I guess he was climbing things, and you know, it's just all jacked up on it. You know, now he's hurt. You know, but he's able to walk and he's good. You know what I mean? When he cuts hair now, and I told him, bro, dog, just look what I'm doing, man. Move forward, learn this, and then do your own thing there in the future. And you got me as a outlet. You got me as a plug, bro. Like I put you down on LLC. I put you down on my accountant. I put you down on my hookups at Toyota Rentals to get a new car. Whatever you guys need, electrician this, flooring, discounts, all that, bro. You got me, man. Why do you guys want to make your life so much difficult? When you guys go out there and provide for your family, man, what you don't understand is that providing for your family for the paycheck at the end of the week, it takes away all the time. Because now you're putting in 68 hours a week to provide a good lifestyle. When you can come home every night and just see your kids and pick them up and hang out with them a little bit because you're barbering. You have the energy. Hell, I'm working 6-7 days and I still coach a basketball team with my daughter. I'm still coaching them on Mondays and Wednesdays. You know, I go home and cook dinner still because I'm not tired like that, bro. You know what I mean? I'm tired, but it's like a stress tired, like a mental tired. Yeah. Physical tired, I'll go right now and I'll bench 225 right now. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go right now in the afternoon with my son. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that type of tired. Not physically exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted. You know what I mean? I'd rather be that, bro, than physically exhausted to go home and I can't even pick up my own kids. I can't even play one-on-one basketball with my own son, you know? I can't throw a football out there or play catch in the front yard because I'm so tired. I'm so beat up from my job. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell these guys, like, dude, take this. I'm in the AC. It feels good, too, in here. You know what I'm saying?
Feels real good.
And I imagine working in here, bro. Yeah. You know? We had some radio on earlier, playing some tunes, watching TV, games. It's a different environment, bro. You know? And I'm not saying that what men are doing out there is the wrong thing to do. But I'm just saying, man, I got lucky, bro. I got lucky. I don't got to go and bust my ass like that. I don't got to go, you know, my dad, man, he's been in construction for over 15 years, dude. You should see that man's hands. They're all tore up, bro. Can't even shake his hand, man. That thing hurts, bro. It's like a cactus, bro. Yeah, I'm like, damn. Like, what's wrong with your hand,
full
bro?
Of calluses,
bro. Calluses, dislocated fingers, thumbs that got jammed or hammered on that didn't even heal correctly. He goes like this, and bones are popping out where they're not supposed to. Elbows all dislocated, and he's still going to work. The shoulders all popped out. You know what I'm saying? A nail through his hand, through his bottom of his feet.
People aren't made the same anymore, too.
Nah, bro.
Aguantar eso.
Nah, bro. Yeah, that's mucho. And I'm gonna, like, Lo bueno es de que se lo admiro a mi papá porque lo hizo, you know, y un día me dijo, ves mis manos. Oh man, this is my sisters are watching, they're gonna laugh. Every single night, bro. And he would come home and I would get in trouble or do something. He would go like this. Ven, mira mis manos. Mira. Con estas manos levanté una familia. And he'll go like this to me and he'll go like this to me. And bro, they hurt from how bad they're all jacked up, dude. You know what I mean? And it's like sandpaper, bro. And I'm like, damn, Dad, like that hurts, man. You want to do bad in school? This is how you're going to end up. And I'm like, man, and he'll show me all his injuries that he's had throughout the years. His thumbs, his hands, the different type of colors he's got. He'll go like this and he's all white. And then right here's all black and the neck's all dark. You know, I'm like, dang, dude. He goes, in El Sol. I was in Palm Springs. I was in Chino. It was 102 degrees at 12. And I'm like, okay, I get you, Dad. I get what you're coming from, you know? And going from that to now, how I provide for my family, bro, I'm just grateful, honestly, that I had his example. You know, me dio el ejemplo de, don't be like me, Dad. Don't be like me, son. Be better than me. And I have that conversation with my son all the time. My son tells me, Dad, I want to be buff like you. I want to be big like you. Be handsome like you. And I'm like, nah. Be better than me. Be better than me, bro. I'm just setting the bar high for you because I want you to surpass it. And if that bar is high enough, bro, I know that you're going to be a better man than I was. I know you're going to be a better husband than I am, a better father, a better role model than I am. So that's how far I want to set it as far as I can, bro, you know, so you can try to surpass me that. You know, you'll be the 2.0 version. You know what I mean? And it all starts from what we had in our childhood and the way my dad brought me up. You know what I mean? You remember my dad, bro.
Yeah, saludazos.
Don Miguel. I'm right there.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, man. I still remember that Villager Mercury van, bro. The whole half the team, bro.
Half the team.
We're almost. If we were running late, we were about to forfeit. You know, we had 7 players.
Hey, and even with 7 players, we still did work.
We still smashed.
If that vehicle didn't show up, forfeit.
No, bro. When that vehicle would pull up, bro, it's like that sliding door would pull open, así paz y todos
The whole team.
uniformados y todo. Let's go, bro. With the Barcelona jerseys.
Crazy little story. So, cuando empecé a jugar right here in Redlands, like I was going to Moore, right? Moore Middle School. I'll make it really quick. I was going to Moore, right? And I used to live right here on Post Street. Everybody's gonna know where Post Street's at.
Post Street Riders.
And then so I would ride the bus with Alan. Alan was in 8th grade. I was in 6th. Y me dice, hey, you play soccer? Yeah. Okay. You down to come to one of our games, Simon? I'll go. All right. On Sunday, I'm gonna go pick you up. All right. Fucking Sunday comes, bro. And dan. My mom's like, hey, están buscando. ¿Quién? Que unos amigos que van contigo. They go with you to school. Oh shit. And it was Alan. So like, hey, fool, you ready to go? I'm like, oh fuck, I thought he was playing around.
You forgot.
Yeah. Que me voy. Yeah, after that, the rest is history.
The rest is history, bro.
Oh, yeah, that was the first time.
We played the Torneo de Jarritos. We were on Univision, bro. We did all that shit.
After that, honestly, if Alan didn't go, like, knock on my door, I probably wouldn't have played soccer here in Redlands. Like I was playing in San Bernardino with another team, but, like, to meet the people that I know here in Redlands.
The introduction, bro.
And then from there, you know, that's how my story started. That's a different podcast, pero if you know, because of Alan,
La leyenda del Buki. That's what we're gonna call the next podcast.
La leyenda del Buki.
La leyenda del Buki. I still remember when you had the little trencita fools all long and shit.
Yeah.
Yo le decía que si lo tenía que marcar, I was gonna pull that down on the corner kick.
Because during the years más when we were much bigger, you know, we were an opposites team.
Yeah, we weren't playing together.
Contras?
Yeah, bro. We were planning, fool. I'd be like, yo me marco el Buki porque no, se lo van a llevar a ustedes bien rápido. Bro, I was on his ass. Bro, I had speed back then. Like,
el balón pasaba, pero el jugador
no. Ahora yo pienso que está rodando. I'm faster.
And then he was left-footed, so it was hard to be on him because he was left-footed. You know, you're right-footed, so you're like, fuck, where's he gonna go?
Boom, cortamos. Swifty,
you guys played the same position, más o menos?
Well, for a while when we were on the same team, I played a forward and he played midfielder.
Oh, okay.
Midfield, yeah.
And then after we shifted off of different teams, I saw him as an attacker and I was like, este güey va a meter gol. Sure enough, fool, fucking siempre le metía un pinche golazo.
Yeah.
And like, fuck. And I think at the time I was playing with El Juve.
And
we were trying to stop his ass, and we had him, bro. Like, we always slow him down. We would beat this fool up, bro. Y de una otra vez salió un pinche golazo de afuera del área, güey. Bro, no mames, güey, qué pinche vergüenza nos pegaba este güey. Like, pinche balón, like,
But it was
fuck.
crazy. It was crazy because when I started playing with them, they were older than me.
Yeah, we were older.
So all the stuff that I learned, I took it, from Alan, from Peluchin, from all the people that played here in Redlands.
Yeah.
Like I would take, I'll see
Pieces.
Alan's cuts, like to the left. So aprendía from the older guys,
Yeah.
My experience was getting, cuerpo como Peluchin, la speed que tenía Alan, Julio,
Julio was a dope ass
So,
man too.
Julio-
Was he faster than you then?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I-
Yeah,
You're fast.
Julio, un compa que tenemos en common,
yes.
Julio, ese güey era medio, pero ese güey
Fuck, para quitar el balón. Oh mames, ese
this
tenía
fool
glue.
he held the ball like fucking bubble gum, güey, fucking stick to his feet, güey.
Shit, yeah, bro.
El control que tenía.
Yeah.
Oh mames,
So-
that fool would love to make everybody fool y te se
Oh,
aburla,
yeah.
güey. Pinche balón.
And I always tell people, I was like, shit, well, like, cuando jugabas, I was like, hey, bro, me gusta como juegas. And honestly, yo le doy gracias a that I was younger learning from the older cats. They were 2 years older than me, pero en esa edad, they were much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
2 years experience in soccer
Yeah.
is 2
Well,
years.
just imagine for like, fuck, we hit puberty first, and this fool was still out there as a young cat, like
Oh, yeah. He was
And
barely
then,
getting
yeah,
there.
and then next thing you know, I think I remember this. We got eliminated in the tournament, and these fools were playing in the final. Y pues the only chance porras a este güey, because that fool was Raza, that fool was
Yeah.
part of the Redlands team.
Yeah.
They were playing against teams from Rialto,
Yeah.
off Peppermint, and fucking all those San Bernardino teams.
Yeah.
Dog, se llenaba el pinche estadio ahí de la Lugonia, güey. Estábamos
Then
todos.
when we used to go play in LA,
Bro, those tournaments are crazy,
we
bro.
from Redlands way, and we would smack the teams in
fool.
LA.
Yeah, güey, no, güey.
Back
That
to back
shit was
finals,
crazy.
los ganamos.
Hey, pero de aquí salió también Donovan, ¿no? Or was it Donovan?
yeah.
Sí, no.
Yeah, he
de-
came out of
Redlands.
Renaissance Valley. Out of all the players, so he was like a chapter ahead of us.
Yeah.
So we were right behind him. But the guys who I played soccer with, they were older than me. They actually played with them in high school.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, shit.
so
Tenemos, we have
It's
friends
a-
in común.
and
que
mutual.
juegan
yeah.
con ellos.
As a matter of fact, let me take the second right now to bring up the homie Oscar, aka El Sapo Uribe.
Es el que miramos en la tocada that got me the flower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
So just so you guys know, este pinche güey del Sapo, el cabrón, he played with Donovan, but he also built this barbershop. Ese güey metió mano aquí, un chingo, güey. Ese güey, desde el tallo, me ayudó a meter el tallo, me ayudó a pintar las paredes, güey. He hooked me up on the lights, bro. Fucking made my back room. He helped me do plumbing in my restroom. He put my fucking sink together. He put my TV up. You know what I mean? Este cabrón, güey, desde el momento que se dio cuenta que yo estaba aquí, he came to the smoke shop. He ran into my wife and I, and he started seeing that we were going to open up the shop. Se prestó el cabrón. Ni un pinche 5 me pidió, güey.
Saludazos para Pasapo.
Saludos, el Sapo.
Saludos a los Froggy.
We seen him allá. We played for Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
so we
Ya
seen-
me
we
acordé
seen
bien.
Sapo
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
the
a while
family.
that I haven't seen him, so he
Oh, but you'll
comes up
see
to
him
me
here.
so like,
I think he still has a shop key. You'll see him.
He still has a shop key.
He has a shop
hey,
key still.
Alan requires his shop key
Hey,
back.
bro, can I get my shop key back, cabrón?
Aprovechando el space.
And I hadn't
Yeah.
seen him in a while, and he comes up to the stage. I'm like, no mames, güey. I was over there looking. I'm like, is it this fool? Is it not? And I was like, no, yeah, it is. So like, güey, ya eres músico. And I'm like, no, pues ya tenemos ratillo ya también en la
Sí,
música,
sí.
you know.
But
A lot
igual-
of people know me because of soccer.
Yeah,
pero,
bro,
no,
soccer.
la
Well, I be
música.
forgetting that you be playing music until I see your podcast, and then I'm like, this
And he
is
does
playing.
OnlyFans. He just opened his OnlyFans.
Only fools, no?
Oh, yeah, it's only-
Only fools.
Only toes.
Only toes.
Only
Yeah,
toes.
bro. Shit, I'm
Gotta
gonna
make
have
a living,
to. I'm gonna have to jump on that pretty soon, bro. If this one doesn't
Gotta make
take
a
off.
living, baby. You gotta make the.
But yeah,
the budget meet.
I mean, for historias here in Redlands, man, that could be a whole different podcast and stuff. That,
Dog.
you know,
No, Redlands is dope, man. And to have kO'S Phase be a chapter of the city of Redlands, man, that's a blessing to me, bro. I'm
bringing
super
it back
grateful.
home, huh? Back to the.
I'm back home. I'll tell you that right now. As a matter of fact, my daughter's up the street right now, so I gotta go pick her up later. And say hi to my mom, my sisters, my nephews.
Your whole
Like,
fam's out here.
yeah,
Redlands,
I have a lot of family out here, man. All my aunts, my uncles. I have cousins here in the city, man, and you know, obviously a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friends. You know, there's a lot of history, bro. Born and raised here, man. 1990.
That's
You already
right.
know. You already know the 90s babies are killing it out here, Beto. You know, it feels good to be back, man. And there's a lot of stores out here who they're new. And I gotta try them out, bro. You know, they
Yeah,
told me
for
about
sure.
coffee shops and store.
And then they're about to knock down that mall, so State Street's gonna run through.
That's what I heard. I heard that the city of Redlands has a lot of plans. And it's funny though because I don't know the mayor personally, but I was in the same room as him at one point last year in December. I was invited to a gala here in town over by the downtown area right there where I mean at the time it was called the Boiler Room. I don't know what it's called now.
Oh yeah. They switched to.
Remember that? Yeah. So
Yeah.
right next door, there's like a presentation room there, and my wife and I were invited through one of our friends, our pastors, our daughter. She took over this program where they basically have to build homes in Africa for kids who are orphaned or kids who are, going through a rough time, and they asked us to be a part of it. And what we do is a lot of small business owners down, they just kind of donate what they can, and then they raffle off the T-shirts, hats, and stuff like that. And they got a good little savings from that. Everybody was very generous, But being in the same room, I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first time ever experiencing something like that. And we dressed up. My wife was looking great. I was trying to look professional, and networking with people. We got to see a lot of people who we know from our small community up there. And then we saw some people who were from here in Redlands, and we're just like, oh well, we didn't know that they owned a plumbing company or something, or they were the owners. Next thing you know, the mayor here is going up there, and I was like, what? I didn't even know that guy was the mayor, man. And I'm in the same room with this guy. Like, it's crazy how far small business like Jay's Fades and kO'S Fades can take you. Yeah. And so, long story short, man, it was a good experience overall, and my wife and I were just like, man, we need to do more things like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, in the future, look for us, man.
For sure.
We got a back to school haircut event coming up in the summertime, right before they go back to school. We do. I
saw you guys did that this past.
Yeah, my plan is to do it. My plan is to do it here too. Hopefully by then I'm fully staffed, and if I'm not, I'll bring some barbers from up there to to kick it and knock it out. But we do 4 hours of free haircuts for the community in Yucaipa, and I'm planning on doing the same thing. Like I said, it's a sibling barbershop, so here in the city of Redlands, man, look forward to that. So follow us on Instagram.
Like kids.
You want a free haircut? Diego.
I'm trying to go back to school back around that time.
He's going back to get his bachelor's.
Tell him to show you his schedule, huh?
Yeah. Show me your schedule. Let me see your units, bro. Let me see your ID from school. If it doesn't say Crafton Hills, bro, you don't have to pay.
It's actually Harvard. Yeah, but
Harvard University. That's where I went for barbering.
Yeah.
I went there for barbering, man.
I think I saw you once or twice.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, man.
Well, I'm excited for your new sister location here that you got, and hopefully we can record it in a couple months and do that.
That's what you said last time when I opened up the other location.
For real. Last time
do I have to open up a third shop for me to bring you guys?
Imagine we come back and there's a third shop going.
Oh my god!
Hey, God bless. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys are the key. You guys are the ones that motivated me, so now I have to do it. You see?
But like for real, honestly, like we've been planning this podcast probably for like a year, but before this was an idea.
It was in there.
God's timing is the perfect timing.
It's perfect timing, man.
And every time he would sit me in Edgar's chair, he'd be like, "You guys are too big for me now."
I would tell him, bro, I'm like, "You guys are freaking Hollywood, bro. You won't even respond to me no more. I'm on scene for 9 hours. I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy." Like, dude, what I gotta do, man? You know what I mean? I guess it took me second shop.
For all the people watching, like Jay's Fades was actually the first business that opened their doors for us as a podcast. I think it was like episode 5.
Yeah, one of the very first ones.
Yeah, and we're
300 deep.
Yeah,
300
that was crazy.
300 plus episodes deep, and
plus.
And we owe a lot of this to Alan, that he gave us the opportunity to experience, to do a podcast with the business, and hopefully from here we're open to work with multiple businesses.
We've done restaurants too.
Restaurants,
meat markets,
events out in Los Angeles.
The birria.
Shout out to our official sponsor,
Lux Micro States, GC 250 for $250 off. The $900 deposit.
Wow.
Well, a tiny home, but you could use it for, I don't know, let's say we want to open up a mobile barbershop.
Yeah. So.
Or something like that.
Or if you have a spot in your backyard, you want to put a tiny home, it's a lot better.
Or just put the suegra back there, maybe. So
yeah.
Out of your house, guys. Just an idea.
And it'll run you like $30K. We'll get you a nice 2-bedroom, 1-bath, little studio in the back.
Yeah, well, there you go, man.
And code GC 250 will get you $250 off. But,
damn, bro. You're making me want to purchase a home now.
Yeah.
Let me closer to Redlands.
But they're also here in Redlands as well. They're one of our official sponsors that are working with us right now.
That's what's up, man. Good. Yeah, man.
And any advice you want to give for for new business owners that are starting up a business?
Oh, man, for new business owners, I would like to tell you guys from my experience, don't be afraid to fail, man. Being afraid and having fear to fail, man, it's gonna hold you guys back from gaining what you guys want in life. Just if you're gonna jump into something like this, not just a barbershop, but anything, whether it's a restaurant, a market, and just your dreams, and chase them until they happen. When you make it happen, have you guys got when you're ready, to test the waters and things of that nature, man. Just don't ever stop and look back. At one point, I think in life, I wanted to quit. I wanted to just reverse life and say, hey, let me get my money back, man. This isn't working out. This isn't what I wanted. But I put my